sounds too bad. Be my friend.
Hi friends, I just wanted to address something that I've been wanting to address for a while, but I just never really have, I guess you could say. But it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, ever since Mr. Donald Trump was inaugurated about a week ago-ish. About a week ago. Damn. Sorry, I'm so dumb and white and annoying. But that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Honestly, for all of you guys who think that white privilege isn't a thing, it is. I've been raised with amazing things in my life, and I am so grateful for that. I'm not here to rub that in anybody's faces if you aren't, and I'm not judging you for that because it's not your fault. But a lot of people didn't grow up with white privilege, and that's mainly because they're African American or Latina or anything other than white. And honestly, I think that Trump's perfect person in the United States is a white male, perfect, rich, everything. And I really don't think that should be the case, and so do a lot of people. So I was watching Tana Mojo today, and she was talking about inequality too, and how someone said the N-word at one of her meet and greets. Oh, sorry, that was really annoying. But how she was talking about how someone said, say the N-word at one of her meet and greets, and he like screamed it where every girl in the VIP could hear, and she was really shook by that. And honestly, I would have been too. She was scared for her life, she was scared for everything that she was doing. And honestly, for everybody who thinks that white privilege is not a thing, it is. Like, I know I was raised with white privilege. I'm not afraid of police officers. I don't really have to fear for my life every time I get stopped by one, or when I walk into someplace, I don't need to worry about someone calling me out or catcalling me or anything like that. Half of that because I'm 13, but like um like it's not really fair that a lot of people do get catcalled and they do get stopped by security guards and they have to fear for their life because of their skin color. And honestly, it's not really fun, obviously, because you're getting stopped by a police officer, and I really don't think Hillary would appreciate somebody having to call the police officer sir after he shot her husband dead. Okay? Her husband is dead. She is calling the officer sir. Okay? That officer shot an unarmed black man. Okay? That's not okay. Like, obviously, I feel that way. A lot of other people feel that way. And it's not really fair that people get called out by that kind of thing. And you're right. I grew up with white privilege, and I'm not going to deny it. And sometimes I do wish that I could experience what it's like in other people's shoes, because it's not fair that everybody gets treated differently because of their skin color. Like, yeah, everybody's different, and that's a good thing, Donald Trump. But, honestly, it's not really that big of a deal to try to, emphasize, ooh, racism, like, go racism. Like, no. Like, especially since Donald, again, he's the president now, so he basically has the right to do things that not a lot of people want to do. AKA build that wall to separate us from people who are surviving poverty, to surviving wars, to surviving anything that comes their way. He is making it more difficult and more difficult for people like that to get into the country. People like that, as in people who are suffering to try to get into this country, but can't because Donald Trump is our leader. And it's not really a good thing that a lot of people want to talk about it. And so I'm saying to all of you that are probably watching, which is probably like 3 of you, hey Emma and Ella, what's up? But everybody, you have a voice. If you use it, if we, my age, we are the next generation of superstars. We are the next generation of people that will change the country. If you feel that your voice isn't important because you're young, you are so wrong. It's use your voice, because if you don't, then your country's gonna, then, you can't make a big difference in your country. And if you can't do that, well, then what the frick are you doing here? If you don't want to try to make a change, then why, I'm sorry, but why are you in the country? Especially, again, since Donald Trump's our leader, we're going to have to follow what he says, and we're going to have to deal with the crap that he puts on us. And so, really, it's up to us to try to use our voice to not get him, impeached, because that's a little extreme, but to try and get people to see our point, because some people don't get why we're trying to advocate for this. Honestly, I am just... Ugh. So, again, inequality is not a thing to joke about, because it's just not really a good thing. And I really hope that our country can change in the way that we can all accept everybody equally, and that African Americans and people with different skin color than frickin' pale, they don't have to worry about being stopped by a police officer. They don't have to worry about being afraid for their lives, that they're going to shoot them because they didn't do anything wrong. So I just wanted to talk about that because, young people do have a voice. And so if you have a voice and you want to say something, say it. Alright? That's all I really need to say. Till then, I still don't have a sign off.